Exclusive contract novel from Feilu Novel Network. Let you sell health products, how can you conquer a terminal illness? After Lin Mo traveled through time, he inherited a small health product workshop. Awakening, medical magic modification system, capable of converting various drugs into health products and exceeding 300% of therapeutic efficacy. Medicines are expensive, and poor people can never afford to see or take them. Lin Mo vowed to turn this situation around. The first healthcare product, plant extract hypoglycemic buccal tablets, is launched. It costs only 98 yuan per month and takes 3.5 years to cure diabetes. Brain activating agent, 1 cup per day, bid farewell to senile dementia. Quickly, Lin Mo's blood sugar lowering lozenges were criticized by the entire internet, and countless people angrily accused Lin Mo of deceiving the elderly, sucking blood, and making unscrupulous money. In order to save money to buy a house for his son, Zhao Shankui, an old man from the mountain area, stopped treating diabetes and relied on a healthcare product instead. Just as netizens feel extremely sorry for the elderly. A piece of news has been exposed. With the hypoglycemic lozenges, the old man recovered from diabetes. As soon as the news comes out, it causes a global sensation. Countless people shed tears and said, Lin Mo's merits are immeasurable. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Inheriting Health Products Workshop, Opening Dr. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Who? In a small health product processing workshop in Sucheng. Lin Mo moved away from the microscope, his expression slightly excited, and he let out a deep breath. Holding a candy-like lozenge in his hand. Is this a health product? It's more like a miracle medicine. Lin Mo smiled. It's not in vain of his month-long hard work on research. With a movement of consciousness, a data panel appeared in my mind. Health products. Plant-extracted hypoglycemic tablets. Ingredients. Corn stalks, jade bamboo roots, dandelion, horse-tooth vegetables, etc. Technology. Metformin biotransformation composite formulation, nanoscale ultra-fine wall breaking technology. Quality. Perfect. Efficacy. 3.5 years of treatment can cure 70% of type 2 diabetes. In fact, Lin Mo has been traveling to the parallel time and space of Xia Kingdom for 5 years. As a scientific researcher in his past life, Lin Mo achieved significant achievements in the field of medicine. Lin Mo after crossing the river. He is a medical student who graduated from Stanford. Due to the unexpected death of his parents, he left behind a small health product processing workshop in China. In order to prevent his parents from leaving their careers unattended, and for some special reasons, Lin Mo chose to return to China to inherit this small workshop. And on the day of returning to China, Lin Mo has activated the medical magic modification system. Simply put, it means that major drugs in the world, such as penicillin, aspirin, insulin, etc., will be transformed into equally effective health products through biomass energy technology. You should know. Medicines and health products are two different concepts. Drugs are a substance used for the prevention and treatment of diseases, regulated by the Drug Administration, and have strict standards from research and development to production and clinical trials. And health products, in simple terms, are a special type of food that mainly contains nutrients such as protein, amino acids, trace elements, and plant extracts. Unable to achieve therapeutic effects, at most it is auxiliary rehabilitation. And the newbie gift package that Lin Mo obtained from the system. It is a copy of Research and Development and Technical Drawing of Diabetes Rehabilitation Medicine. The academic knowledge of this product is provided, developed, and understood by the system. Please learn it yourself. Yes. The technology Lin Mo acquired was not automatically understood in his mind. But it requires learning and absorbing knowledge. Fortunately, Lin Mo has been engaged in medical research for both generations, and after half a month of hard work, he has mastered theoretical knowledge. Later, he used the workshop's land as collateral and borrowed 3 million yuan from the bank. A series of new devices have been added, including gas chromatography, micro-thermal melting point analyzer, fully automatic refractometer, and so on. Most of them are second-hand products, laboratory instruments that have been phased out by a large research institution in the Magic City. Although it's old, it can be used. I have been studying hard for another half-month. Finally, we have developed the plant-extracted hypoglycemic tablets. With this product, the small workshop left by my parents finally has a way to survive. Lin Mo's eyes were deep and he slowly walked out of the laboratory located in the southwest corner of the workshop. Enter another production workshop. The production workshop is not large, about 500 square meters, with only one assembly line. There is not a worker in the workshop. Due to the unexpected death of parents and market conditions, the workshop has been mostly shut down for the past month. If it weren't for Lin Mo choosing to return to China and inheriting the workshop, the entire factory would probably go bankrupt in less than half a month. From afar, Lin Mo saw a figure wiping the machine. Aunt Song. Lin Mo smiled and walked forward to say hello. The graceful figure lifted its head upon hearing the words, revealing a stunning face. She looks around 30 years old, with long hair shoulder length, fair skin, an S-shaped figure, a snow-white spinning waist yoga suit, and black tight leather pants wrapped around a slender and plump pear shape. My cheeks were pale and flushed, with a hint of surprise. Xiaomua, you're done. Song Qinglian purred happily. Aunt Song, thank you for your hard work. Lin Mo was deeply moved. Aunt Song is an elderly worker in the workshop. When she was 18 years old and a little girl, she was recruited into the factory by her parents and worked from a small worker to the position of general manager. Now the workshop is shut down and facing bankruptcy. Aunt Song, however, remained steadfast and came to the workshop every day to inspect. In her eyes, is this small workshop not her child? And for Lin Mo, Song Qinglian watched him grow up even more. I just finished practicing yoga and came to the factory to take a look. Song Qinglian wiped the fine beads of sweat from her forehead, still touching Lin Mo's head like she did when she was a child. How's it going, my genius handsome guy? How's the research progress lately? Song Qinglian gave a slight smile. She knows about Lin Mo's recent development of new products. Don't work too hard. After a pause, as soon as Song Qinglian finished speaking, Lin Mo smiled calmly. Aunt Song, my research has yielded results. If nothing unexpected happens, our workshop finally has its own health products. Ah! Song Qinglian lost consciousness in an instant and let out a scream. With excitement, he jumped up and couldn't help but open his arms, hugging Lin Mo excitedly while trembling and murmuring, "Great! Lin Gu and his sister .In.Law are in heaven, and they will definitely be extremely pleased." After all, the Lin family's small workshop has been adhering to the business philosophy of outsourcing processing and producing products for other health product brands for over a decade. During his lifetime, Father Lin also considered producing his own health products. But in the health product industry, how deep is the water? If it were more than a decade ago, spending some money and hiring a few researchers could really create some health products. But today, if you want to develop a health product that is acceptable in the market, it may range from millions to tens of millions, but it may not necessarily be successful. Even before Lin's father passed away, he was very regretful. But now, Lin Mo did it. Excited to the extreme, Song Qinglian tightened Lin Mo's grip even tighter. Lin Mo is a bit awkward. After all, Aunt Song has always been well maintained, with a fair jade face no different from a young girl in her 20s, but her mature body is as alluring as a peach. I hugged like this for a while. Seemingly sensing something was amiss, Aunt Song blushed slightly and withdrew her posture. With a blush in his eyes, he lightly bit his teeth and asked, Xiao Mo, tell Aunt your thoughts. Aunt Song. Lin Mo nodded and said, the health product I am researching is a plant-extracted hypoglycemic lozenge. Its target market is diabetes. Diabetes is one of the 4 chronic diseases. Currently, the prevalence rate of adult diabetes in Xiao is 12.8%, with an estimated total of 129.8 million, ranking first in the world. Relevant information statistics. The overall medical expenditure for diabetes in summer has exceeded 600 billion yuan. So diabetes is a big market. Lin Mo said confidently, in addition, the healthcare product I studied for diabetes can even play a great role in promoting the recovery of patients. What? Song Qinglian in front of her shook her delicate body. But he opened his mouth wide in surprise. Kneeling for flower evaluation tickets on the first day, as long as there are 500 flowers, 100 reviews, and 1 monthly pass. Immediately make 10 changes. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 2. Holding elderly promotion lectures, here is. You are listening at novel full.audio. Xiaoma, are you joking with your aunt? Song Qinglian shook her head in disbelief. If you heard me right, what Xiaoma is saying is that this health product can have a rehabilitation effect on patients. This. Not very realistic, right? People with a slight high school diploma know that health supplements are dietary products that promote health and wellness. They are not harmful to the human body, but are they really beneficial? Hee. That can only be said to be very rare. Only a small number of health product companies operate in the market, and their health products only have a slight health and wellness effect through extremely strict technical secrets and production processes, combined with a large amount of capital investment in Shanghai. So even though her family produces health products, Song Qinglian had to admit it. Basically, buying health products is like paying an IQ tax. Aunt Song, please believe me. Lin Mo took a sip of the elegant Chanel No. 5 perfume and confidently said, now it's urgent to call the staff back. Song Qinglian hesitated for a moment and explained, the factory has not been doing well in the past 6 months, only paying basic wages. But it should be able to recall around 20 people. That's enough. Lin Mo firmly said, also, I personally run the product launch approval. A health product is going on the market for sale. Although it does not require approval from the Drug Administration, it also requires some cumbersome procedures. With this parallel spatio-temporal workflow, it will take about 1.3 months. During this period, it is necessary to provide product formulas and proof results, provide sample sampling to ensure the safe source of raw materials, conduct toxicological safety assessment and verification, identify active ingredients, production processes, and other procedures. But Lin Mosi is not worried at all. He believes in his product. Xiaoma, since you have made a decision, Aunt Song supports you. Song Qinglian gritted his teeth and passed the passage. Looking at Lin Mo's calm expression, his eyes were as calm as an ancient well. Song Qinglian felt a deep infectious power. This made her incredibly touched and excited. Looking forward to it. Immediately thereafter, Song Qinglian notified the old employees who had stopped work and production. There are a total of 21 employees who are willing to come back to work. For the new boss Lin Mo, he has developed his own health product and is also preparing to produce and launch it. The employees expressed great curiosity and questioning. After all, the health product industry is not that simple. Don't let the product be produced by then. I can't even sell it. Subsequently, it affected the operation of the Lin family workshop, leading to bankruptcy. After all, the Lin family workshop. The welfare benefits for these employees are still very good. 2 months later, Lin Mo finally obtained the approval letter for the health product, plant extract hypoglycemic tablets. Don't be fooled by the long time. But for the review of a health product, this time is already considered short. Subsequently, Lin Mo immediately went to register another trademark. Xuanmu Hall, and the product on hand was officially named by Lin Mo as Shuangyidang Plant Extract Hypoglycemic Tablets. After everything is ready, Lin Mo and Song Qinglian began to have workers start producing hypoglycemic lozenges. Because the production process of this hypoglycemic lozenge is no different from the previous production process of Lin's workshop for other health product brands. The production lines are all the same, and the employees are also experienced. So after 2 days of trial production without any mistakes, the blood sugar lowering lozenges officially entered the mass production stage. For this reason, Lin Mo invested a lot of money again, and even the packaging and promotion of the final product really ran out of funds. Without saying a word, Song Qinglian took out his savings from over a decade and, combined with mortgaging his house, invested another 2 million in it. From then on, whether it's Lin Mo or Song Qinglian, the investment in this health product has cost a lot of effort, energy, and financial resources. It can be said that success is only allowed, failure is not allowed. Soon, in Lin's workshop, the first batch of 36,000 boxes of hypoglycemic tablets were produced. There are 30 pieces in one box. Take 1 tablet orally every day, which is exactly the amount for 1 month. Including the costs of materials, labor, and logistics. About 70 yuan. As for the research and development cost, because only Lin Mo and the system are included, it is basically equivalent to paying for nothing. Lin Mo ultimately priced this health product at 98 yuan. I can still earn around 28 yuan. Compared to other health products, they are called windfall profits. A few yuan worth of health products, dare to sell for hundreds of yuan. And Lin Mo's, plant-extracted hypoglycemic tablets, all use various organic materials, among which some Chinese medicinal herbs are even more selective, so the cost naturally increases. The profit is only 28 yuan. If it is counted as a dealer, it may end up in the hands of Lin Mo, with a profit of only over 10 yuan. The profit margin is so transparent, so affordable. Find out the reason. It was Lin Mo who took into account that many patients with diabetes in Xiao, even their families, were deeply troubled by the disease. Normal diabetes. The annual treatment cost ranges from 12,000 to 60,000 yuan. Even with medical insurance reimbursement, it would cost at least thousands of yuan per year. In particular, Lin Mo knows that many of the patients suffering from diabetes are elderly people, as well as people in poor areas, whose annual income is less than 20,000. In addition to the high cost of treatment, we also have to bear the cost of health products, which is an unbearable burden. Health products are valuable. But conscience. But it's priceless. 2 days later. Looking at the inventory, there are still 36,000 boxes of hypoglycemic tablets. Song Qinglian was so worried that her head drooped low and her eyes turned red. Mr. Lin, before our workshop, we were only doing OEM work and did not establish our own sales channels. Song Qinglian gritted her teeth and said, even if we produce our own products now, no one knows. In addition, the health product industry has mixed reviews and is a new brand. No one in major supermarkets, pharmacies, or wholesalers is willing to take the goods. Even if I say I'm willing to supply first and pay later, no one agrees. Speaking of this, Song Qinglian pursed her lips, her towering chest fluctuating and looking extremely sad. And in the conference room, there are also Lin's workshop, the only 2 salespeople. They are all young girls in their early 20s, earning a monthly salary of 3,000 yuan. In recent days, they have visited hundreds of pharmacies and chain supermarkets in Suzhou, big and small. As a result, a box of hypoglycemic lozenges was not sold. At this moment, both women were tearful, with feelings of self-blame and sadness intertwined. It's not that they don't work hard. But pharmacies are not rare at all. A newly established health product company. There are many leather bag companies in the market. Who knows how good the quality of their products is? No brand, no reputation, coupled with low profits for distributors. Which pharmacy agrees to sell on the counter? If it continues like this, I'm afraid the workshop is really facing bankruptcy. In a moment. The conference room is surprisingly quiet. Facing the scorching gaze. Lin Mo had a calm expression and sat freely on the office chair, with a smile on his lips, giving the third woman a sense of security. Young in age, calm in the face of danger. In fact, Lin Mo had already made a decision. The reason why I didn't mention it earlier is to see how the product sells through legitimate channels. But since it doesn't work, we can only take a different path. With a smile, Lin Mo said, "And Song, since that's the case, we can only use the same move as our peers." I remember there was still 20,000 yuan in cash on the book, all of which was taken out to buy some rice, soybean oil, and preserved meat. Tomorrow, I will personally organize a lecture for the elderly about diabetes, and I will send soy oil bacon. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 3. In order to save money. Mind his mother, eat. You are listening at novel full.audio. Lin Mo said. Song Qinglian immediately understood his intention. On her stunning face, there was also a hint of strange expression. Holding lectures for the elderly and delivering rice and soy oil. Isn't this the common scam used by many health product and leather bag companies on the market now? This method is to penetrate into the lower class of the people, under the guise of health preservation, and deceive the elderly. In the early stage, various free pots, bowls, ladles, and bowls were given, with a friendly attitude and thoughtful service. Some even invite so-called experts, to exploit the knowledge-blind spots of the elderly and blindly exaggerate the health products they want to promote. When the time is right, launch your own company's products and ruthlessly harvest a wave of elderly people's leaks. Most elderly people are kind-hearted, and seeing the enthusiastic employees of this company, the quality of product packaging looks good. Plus the mindset of taking advantage and seeking health. So everyone chooses to pay for health products. And in this way, it fell into the pit set up by health product companies. Light losses can range from thousands of yuan to tens of thousands of yuan. Think of this. Song Qinglian is a bit confused. Lin Mo saw Aunt Song's confusion and gave a solemn smile. Aunt Song, are you still worried about the quality of our products? Yeah. Song Qinglian suddenly realized. She has a deep understanding of the health product developed by Lin Mo. Okay, I'll go get the money to buy rice and soybean oil now. Song Qinglian quickly turned around and left. Next time. Lin Mo personally took the initiative and distributed flyers with 2 saleswomen in various communities and community activity stations. Ah, young man, is what said above true? To attend your health and wellness lecture, we will offer rice and soybean oil as gifts. For those who place orders in the top 100, we will also offer preserved meat as a gift. A simple-dressed lady excitedly asked. Of course. Lin Mo walked up and explained to the lady with a smile on his face. It quickly attracted dozens of uncles and aunties. Lao Zhang, are you going? Go ahead, why don't you take the things you picked up for free? Diabetes lecture, just as my family both have this disease, it's not bad to listen to experts. Call out to Lao Li, he also has this disease. For a while. The elders and aunties chattered and discussed. On the other side, Song Qinglian is even more unparalleled. I directly approached the leaders of square dancing in various residential areas, explained the benefits, and promised to bring someone over for a subsidy of 3 yuan. The other party immediately patted his chest and promised that he would lead the old sisters together tomorrow. Time quickly arrived on the second day. Sucheng is a large conference room in a 4-star hotel located on the second ring road of the city. The crowd was boiling. Nearly 300 uncles and aunties surrounded the conference room, making it impassable. At this point, after receiving the rice and soybean oil, we were listening to a young man on the stage explaining all aspects of diabetes. Diabetes is one of the 4 major chronic diseases in the world. It is characterized by high morbidity, high disability rate and high mortality. The formation of the underlying cause is ultimately due to absolute or relative insulin deficiency, or insulin resistance, thus beta. This is caused by problems in the 3 stages of cells producing insulin, the circulatory system transporting insulin, and target cells receiving insulin. More than 10 minutes later, Lin Mo's arms naturally drooped, and his eyes were deep and bright, sweeping the whole room with a humble and elegant temperament. Next, I will talk about how to prevent and treat diabetes. Listen to Lin Mo's explanation. There are many discussions among the elders and aunties in the audience. Oh, this young man is really energetic. Old Sue, do you want a grandson? Law. I think Mr. Lin can do it. The young man is so handsome. If only I were 30 years younger, auntie. Thanks to Lin Mo's sword eyebrows and starry eyes, as well as his humble and gentle demeanor, he was able to easily attract the favor of all the elderly present. Wait until the lecture ends. Lin Mo took a deep breath and waved his hand to launch the health product from Lin's workshop. Shuangmudang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets. Let's talk about price and efficacy. There was a moment of silence on the field. This has made Song Qinglian and a few salespeople in the audience extremely nervous. I'm afraid no one will support me. Unexpectedly. Next second. Suddenly, the whole scene exploded. Oh my, it's only 98 yuan, buy it, buy it. This price is fair, you can't afford to lose out, you can afford to buy health. Xiaolin said so well, this product looks good too. Give me a 3-month treatment. Then a group of aunties rushed up, took out cash, or picked up their phones to swipe the QR code, fearing that the snatch would be slow. There was no more of their own portion of free cured meat hanging on the wall. Almost an hour later, the conference room is returning to tranquility. As one by one, carrying rice, soybean oil, and cured meat, with excited faces on their faces, they left. The 1,000 boxes of Shuangmudang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets that Lin Mo brought over today have also been sold completely. Ah! Song Qinglian has a feeling of dreaming. Zhao Ru and Sun Shui, 2 little girls, were staring at each other with big eyes, completely unable to understand their hard work in selling health products. They couldn't even sell a box of health products. As a result, a lecture was held, and the boss casually said something, giving away something for free. 1,000 boxes of products will be sold out. Not bad. Lin Mo smiled and said, today's sales are almost breaking through 100,000. The most crucial thing is that the company finally has some money on its books. This is too easy to make money. No wonder those colleagues are making a lot of money one by one. Song Qinglian purred a bitter smile. They are selling relatively cheap. Otherwise, the profit will only rise by chance. Yeah. In the field of health products, the water is too deep. Lin Mo sighed and said, but we don't care about others, just do our own job. Then pack up and leave. Before leaving work, Song Qinglian approached Lin Mo, nibbled on Bei's teeth, and finally hesitated for a while before uttering a sentence. Xiaoma, can your hypoglycemic lozenges really cure diabetes? Ant Song. Lin Mo smiled gently and said, let's wait and see. That night. Suching Jinxiu Garden Community, within a certain resident. Antley walked to the bedside with a heartache and said to her lying spouse, old man, get up and take your medicine. A skinny old man struggled to get up from the bed. My wife, I feel a bit dizzy. Grandpa Chen let out a sigh. Then you should take the medicine quickly. Antley took out a series of medicines and gently delivered them to the old man before patting his forehead. By the way, I almost forgot. Antley turned to bring out a simple package box from the cabinet and said eagerly, this is the healthcare product I just bought, which is good for diabetes patients. The Lin expert said that taking 1 tablet a day is very beneficial for the body. Grandpa Chen caught a glimpse in his spare time. Health product name, Shuangyedang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets. Immediately, a bitter smile appeared. My spouse is at least a university professor, and I am also a retired weapons expert from the prestigious military district. The result is for my own illness. My spouse has been bringing various so-called health products to home for the past few years, and she has spent a little over 100,000 yuan on her retirement pension. Actually, Grandpa Chen knows that those health supplements are all scams. What are the benefits to the body? But on second thought, my wife also felt sorry for herself. Immediately, with a forced smile, he chuckled and said, okay, I'll give it a try. While his wife opened the packaging, Mr. Chen glanced at it. I feel a bit speechless in my heart. Which health product company is this? This outer packaging is also too rudimentary. Their health products wish they could make them incredibly gorgeous, printed with various high-end raw materials such as ginseng and lingji. As a result, this blood sugar-lowering lozenge is packaged in a regular package, similar to the cold medicine that costs a few yuan per box. It's too perfunctory. Without words, Grandpa Chen reluctantly opened his mouth and took a hypoglycemic lozenge. Entrance. The taste is good. Not so much that people can't swallow it. There's nothing else. After smacking twice, Grandpa Chen waved his hand and said, I'm tired, I'll go to bed first. Okay. Antley quickly wrapped the old man in a blanket. Immediately walked to the living room and started watching TV. The result is less than half an hour. I heard a few noises coming from inside, and followed Mr. Chen to dress up and walk out neatly. Old man, are you? Antley was stunned for a moment. I can't sleep anymore, said Grandpa Chen with a good smile as he stretched out his limbs. It's strange to say that, but it makes my body feel much more comfortable. Grandpa Chen purred a few times with some confusion. Honey, come downstairs and walk with me. Antley jumped 3 feet high with joy and said, great. On the other side. In a village in a suburban city. Inside a dilapidated small flat building. Zhao Shankui, who is 56 years old and has been working in Suzhou for 8 years, slowly hung up his home phone. The eldest child is getting married. I still need 100,000 yuan to buy a house by next year at the latest. Zhao Shankui's face was wrinkled, and his weathered face suddenly burst into a strange light. He shook his hands and nervously took out a notebook. Write a line of words with twists and turns. Buying. Medicine costs 1,000 yuan per month. Zhao Shankui trembled as he wrote. There is a hint of despair in my eyes. As a type 2 diabetes patient, Zhao Shankui didn't tell his family about his illness. This year. It was all him who persevered alone in the city. And he, who works in a restaurant, only has 3,500 per month. Due to the lack of medical insurance reimbursement, Zhao Shankui can only grit his teeth and reluctantly spend 1,000 yuan per month to buy medicine. But this will. Zhao Shankui had only one thought in his mind. The eldest child needs to buy a house when getting married. There are still about 10 months left, and I can still save around 20,000 yuan myself. Perhaps saving a penny is a penny. Put less pressure on the baby. Think of this. Zhao Shankui stood still for a long time. Looking down at himself, Zhao Shankui suddenly grinned and made a tough decision. We won't treat this disease anymore. Every month, I can save another 1,000 yuan on medicine to save money for my baby to buy a house. 10 months, it's 10,000 again. Zhao Shankui's beard trembled and he chuckled twice. Tears couldn't help but fall down with a clatter. But this disease. It hurts too much. Zhao Shankui's eyes turned twice with a murky expression. Yu Guang caught a glimpse of a piece of cured meat hanging on the beam of the house. Zhao Shankui's heart was stirred. Suddenly, I thought of the health product I bought at that Lashizi health product lecture this afternoon. To be honest, Zhao Shankui has diabetes, and he is reluctant to buy health food on weekdays. The reason why I bought it today is that I can't bear the temptation of those people giving rice and soybean oil. These 2 or 3 pounds of cured meat. Little 5-10. The consciousness of ordinary people with flat heads made Zhao Shankui feel like he had taken advantage, so he gritted his teeth and bought a box of hypoglycemic tablets. Lower blood sugar. Zhao Shankui opened this box of health products and looked at the introduction above. Recall that expert Lin said today that diabetes is high blood sugar, which is not so terrible when blood sugar drops. Suddenly, Zhao Shankui made up his mind. In the future, I won't take any medication every month. Take this health product. A month is only 98, it's worth it. Damn it, as long as you can't eat to death and still work. Save the medicine money and save it for the baby to buy a house. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 4. Such unscrupulous merchants must be exposed. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. On the other side. After Lin Mo and Aunt Song tasted the sweetness. In the following week, 7 lectures on elderly health and wellness were held for 7 consecutive days. By delivering rice and soybean oil. After 7 lectures, nearly 3,000 elderly people from Suzhou City were attracted to come. Among them, nearly 2,000 elderly people, after listening to Lin Mo's health explanation, felt it made sense, so they spontaneously purchased the shuangniedang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets. After all, there is a large population of diabetes patients. Almost every household can use it. It is precisely through this method that the shuangniedang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets produced by Lin's workshop sold a total of 6,000 boxes of health products within a week. The sales revenue reached 590,000 yuan. This has slightly restored Lin Mo's health. At the same time, a week has passed. The first batch of elderly people who purchased hypoglycemic lozenges gradually realized something was wrong. Jinqiu Garden Community. Grandpa Chen came back from exercising outside and happened to meet his niece Shen Nanxu at the doorstep. I saw a top-tier beauty standing at 1.70 meters tall, with long legs, graceful figure, and delicate porcelain-like skin turning around. Showing a joyful expression. Uncle. Shen Nanxu cheered and rushed over, giving her uncle a hug. Uncle, I miss you so much. Shen Nanxu exclaimed excitedly. Nanxu. Grandpa Chen also shouted happily, then opened the door and welcomed his niece into the room. Why do you have time to come and see my uncle today? Grandpa Chen asked happily. Nanxu, you're even more beautiful, girl. Mrs. Li also came out of the room and greeted Shen Nanxu. Today I was resting at the office. I thought I hadn't seen you for a long time, so I drove over from Linhai. Anyway, it wouldn't take much time. Shen Nanxu explained with a smile on her face. Then he presented his gift and said excitedly. Uncle, Ant. This is the internal product of our research institute, and it is a sugar control healthcare product for diabetes. It contains various plant insulin and chromium elements, which can have a unique sugar control effect. In addition, turmeric and American ginseng essence can repair the island and accelerate sugar metabolism. Shen Nanxu finished speaking in one breath, placed the gift in front of her uncle, and smiled. In short, it fits perfectly with your current physical condition, uncle. That sounds good. Antley picked it up and saw that her eyes were slightly bright. She knows where her niece works, but it's the Lin High Life Science Research Institute, a directly affiliated unit of the Xiao Dragon Science Institute. My niece is also the youngest scientist in the pharmaceutical field in Xiao country, and has won the Outstanding Youth Research Fund Award in Xiao country. Unexpectedly. The uncle beside him reacted calmly. Uncle, what's wrong? Are you feeling unwell? Shen Nanxu quickly leaned in with concern. It's okay. Grandpa Chen casually waved his hand and said, Girl, I know you're kind-hearted. But by coincidence, recently, I was eating another healthcare product for diabetes, and expert Chen specifically told me not to take other healthcare products with similar functions. Ah. Upon hearing this, Shen Nanxu was taken aback. Subconsciously looking at my aunt. Antley reacted and blushed a bit. She quickly explained, Girl, it's like this. Your uncle has been taking this health product all week, he explained as he casually took out a box of Shuangyedang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets, not to mention, the effect is pretty good. Look at this old man, he's been energetic lately and has gone out to exercise. Upon hearing this, Shen Nanxu's mouth grew wide. I became anxious and bit my lips lightly. With an urgent expression, I took the hypoglycemic lozenges. Plant extract molecules, including corn stalks, horse-tooth vegetables, bitter gourds, and so on. Something's wrong, there's a problem with this box of health products. Auntie, look at this raw material column and it says goat bean biological extraction factor. Shen Nanxu frowned. Ah, what is that? The old couple asked in confusion. Shen Nanxu hurriedly said, Now it is common in the market. The drug for treating type 2 diabetes is metformin. This oral hypoglycemic drug is actually a guanidine-containing ingredient extracted from a European forage called goat beans. Oh, that's great. Grandpa Chen patted his hands and smiled, I just said this health product works well. After taking it in the past few days, not to mention, my body is much more comfortable. No wonder expert Lin once mentioned intentionally or unintentionally that his healthcare product is more effective than those drugs for diabetes. Grandpa Chen smiled and said. What? Upon hearing this, Shen Nanxu was surprised. Immediately, with a coquettish scolding and widened eyes, the frosty coldness burst out. Uncle, the person from this health product company really said that. Yeah. Mr. Chen subconsciously said, I heard that some elderly people have bought this health product and haven't taken any medication recently. Instead, they have taken hypoglycemic tablets directly. Ah. Upon hearing this, Shen Nanxu immediately exploded and said anxiously, Damn it, these unscrupulous merchants are too unscrupulous. At this moment, Shen Nanxu's chest trembled with anger, and a picture automatically came to mind. Some patients with diabetes, especially the elderly, being tempted and deceived by a health product company. They suffered from diabetes and did not take therapeutic drugs. Instead, they listened to the famous advice of the so-called experts invited by the health product company. Spend a lot of money on purchasing health products. Still brainwashed and taken as a therapeutic drug. This can be deadly. Shen Nanxu's face turned pale with anger, and she clenched her fist tightly. What makes her even more depressed is my own uncle. Surprisingly, they are also in the line of being deceived. Uncle, let me tell you, you've all been deceived by that forest expert. Health products are health products, even if they are excellent, they cannot replace the efficacy of drugs. This kind of unscrupulous businessman must be exposed just to make money. After a pause, Shen Nanxu instinctively asked, the other party must be selling this health product very expensive, right? Mr. Chen purred and said, it's not expensive either, it's only 98 yuan per box. Shen Nanxu was taken aback for a moment, and followed with some disbelief. How cheap? Not right. There must be some fraud in here. At first glance, this scammer company has a bit of expertise. It's just a small profit but quick turnover idea. Alright, girl, I appreciate your kindness, but I've really gotten used to using this hypoglycemic lozenge lately. How about? Mr. Chen looked awkwardly at his niece and pointed to the health supplements she had brought, saying, why don't you take them back? Then he glanced at the time and suddenly exclaimed excitedly, oh my, it's almost time for expert Lin to give a health lecture. I won't give it to you, will you too? I need to quickly go and occupy a spot. Expert Lin said, buy 5 boxes of hypoglycemic lozenges at once today and get 1 box as a gift. Grandpa Chen excitedly went back to the room to get dressed. Leave Shen Nanxu with a stunned expression. Okay for a while. Shen Nanxu looked at her aunt, her teeth trembling as she bit. Aunt, this company is so despicable. I can't stand it. No matter what, I must expose him today. This. Mrs. Chen is a bit conflicted and doesn't know what to say. After all, she witnessed the effectiveness of blood sugar lowering lozenges with her own eyes and knew that her husband's condition improved after taking this health product. No way. That forest expert doesn't sound like a good person. I can't just let my uncle continue to be deceived. Next second. As Shen Nanxu watched his uncle walk out of the house, he immediately followed him with a flash of inspiration. Uncle, wait for me, I'll go take a look with you. Shen Nanxu called out in a coquettish voice. On the other hand, he was the first to contact his mentor, Academician Xiao of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. At the same time, taking advantage of the afternoon shift, Zhao Shankui, dressed in simple and plain clothes, walked into the first hospital of Suqing City empty-handed. It is still the attending physician Qin Yi who treats himself. For Zhao Shankui, Qin Yi still has some impressions. How have you been lately, Lao Zhao? Qin Yi casually asked after a simple blood glucose meter test. Qin. Dr. Qin. But suddenly Zhao Shankui's face turned red and he trembled and said, Dr. Qin. I want to ask if I can stop treating this disease. What? When Qin Yi heard this, how could he do it? The old man in front of us is a severe type 2 diabetes patient. If left untreated, various complications may occur, which can be life-threatening at any time. Lao Zhao, this is not acceptable. Your illness is chronic and you have to take medicine every month. Qin Yi just mentioned this and suddenly noticed that Zhao Shankui's face was a bit complicated. Subconsciously, my heart trembled and I couldn't help but say in silence, Lao Zhao, don't tell me you haven't taken any medicine. Dr. Qin. I haven't taken any medicine for a week. Zhao Shankui lowered his head and his large, wrinkled hands trembled as he pinched the corners of his clothes, speaking in the most trembling tone. What? Qin Yi widened his eyes and stood up the next moment, shouting loudly, Nurse, come quickly. Lao Zhao, come with me immediately to have a check. Up. You're going to cause a big deal like this. Qin Yi spoke in the most urgent and shocked tone, and then, together with the immediately arriving nurse, placed Zhao Shankui on a stretcher and rushed to the emergency room as soon as possible. Zhao Shankui, on the other hand, was so scared that he stood on the stretcher and shouted, I won't do the examination, I don't have money. I don't have money. Soon. Under the care of Qin Yi, Zhao Shankui completed various examinations. Just after receiving the first inspection report, Qin Yi's brain. But it was a buzzing sound. I'm completely stunned. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 5. A week without taking medication, the patient is fine. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Qin Yi held Zhao Shankui's fasting blood glucose report in his hand. Fasting blood sugar refers to the body's ability to maintain a stable glucose metabolism without eating. Normal level. The normal value for adults is 3.9.6.1 mol/L. And Zhao Shankui's data at this time. The value is 10.2. Belongs to the stage of impaired fasting blood sugar. The damage value was originally normal for Zhao Shankui, a patient who had been ill for over a year. What surprised Qin Yi was, Zhao Shankui hasn't taken any medicine for a week. Qin Yi predicted that the patient's numerical value would soar to at least 20 or even trigger ketoacidosis. This was also the reason why he was shocked when he heard that Zhao Shankui had not taken any medicine for a week. But now 10.2. Qin Yi was a bit confused. I immediately reviewed Zhao Shankui's other data reports, including the values of urine glucose, urinary ketone bodies, glycated hemoglobin, and so on. Instantly stunned the deputy chief physician with a 20-year career as a doctor. This data, it's so weird. Compared to ordinary people, the numerical value is much worse, and Qin Yi can accept it. After all, this is a diabetes patient. But Lao Zhao hasn't taken any medicine for a week. Overall numerical value, surprisingly not increasing but decreasing instead. Qin Yi couldn't figure it out. Finally, he turned his head and looked at Zhao Shankui on the hospital bed. Dr. Qin, as I said, I don't have the money for a check. Up. Zhao Shankui looked anxious and struggled to get up. He just gave his family 3,000 yuan in the morning and left 500 yuan in his hand. After checking this, he was very anxious. Lao Zhao, you've been using my account for half a year now. Qin Yi gave a bitter smile and waved his hand, saying, today's inspection doesn't count towards you. Ah, really don't you need to give it? Zhao Shankui breathed a sigh of relief upon hearing this, and then the elderly man from northern Shaanxi twisted his face and thanked him solemnly. Dr. Qin, thank you so much. Don't thank me yet. Qin Yi sighed and said, you're sick. You can't do it without taking medicine. I ask you, have you really not taken any medicine this week? No. Zhao Shankui shook his head and answered honestly. Just taking a healthcare product for diabetes. Qin Yi asked again without believing it. Zhao Shankui remained honest and said, I'm planning to give up, so there's no need to lie to you. I can't do this. Qin Yi sighed and said, Lao Zhao, I know you're in a difficult situation, but there's only one destiny. You have to consider it carefully. Okay, let me help you apply for some assistance and try to reduce your expenses as much as possible. Upon hearing this, Zhao Shankui fell silent. For a long time, his head drooped and he said dryly, Dr. Qin, I just wanted to ask, how is my health? Your body is currently fine. Qin Yi noticed something, but as a doctor, he could only sigh and answer the question. This doesn't mean anything. Maybe it's just a process of your body's ability to resist itself. After all, you have this disease, so you still need to pay attention. Then I understand. Zhao Shankui looked slightly pleased, nodded, and stood up to bow to Qin Yi. Remember to take your medicine. Qin Yi gave countless reminders. Before leaving, Qin Yi casually asked and learned the name of the health product that Zhao Shankui took this week. It is called Shuangmudang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets. Until the other person leaves. Qin Yi slammed the table in anger. These health product companies are becoming more and more jerks just to make money. And Zhao Shankui. Take the elevator down to the first floor of the hospital, holding the prescription list written by Qin Yi in your hand. I wandered around at the pharmacy for half a day. The old man gritted his teeth. Dr. Qin said it's okay, indicating that the health product must be useful. Stop buying medicine. Little did they know. This scene was watched by Qin Yi, who followed behind and felt uneasy. After all, Lao Zhao still hasn't bought any medicine. At this moment, he has an inexplicable heart attack. Remembering a sentence mentioned in a certain movie. There is only one disease in the world, and that is poverty. Shake your head. Qin Yi returned to the department, just feeling inexplicably lost today. And on the other side, Shen Nanxu also followed her uncle to the conference room of a 4-star hotel. Nowadays, Lin Mo is almost considered a VIP customer of this hotel. Girl, let me tell you, the handsome young man on stage is the expert Lin. As soon as he entered the venue, Grandpa Chen excitedly pointed to Lin Mo on the stage and said, "Humph." Shen Nanxu glanced at him. He looked like a dog, but he didn't expect his heart to be black. Then I followed my uncle and found a seat to sit down. Coincidentally, Lin Mo on stage is speaking. Ladies and gentlemen, aunts and uncles. Our Shuangyudang brand's plant extract hypoglycemic lozenges are absolutely of excellent quality. This is an epoch.making health product, which can promote diabetes beyond the imagination of ordinary people. Magical plant insulin, a new driving force for life. You take one piece of it, I take one piece of it every day. If you want to lower blood sugar, Shuanmutang is indispensable. Lin Mo on stage said passionately, "Elders, what we're selling is not hormones. I won't see immediate results. As long as you persist in taking all courses of treatment, it will definitely have an effect." A speech full of emotion and emotion was accompanied by enthusiastic applause from the elderly audience below. Expert Lin said so well. With diabetes, we only recognize Shuangmatang's hypoglycemic lozenges. Today is the third day of taking this health product. Take one tablet every day, it won't hurt your waist or numb your legs. You'll have more strength to work. Shen Nanxu was stunned by this. A pure and charming face, suffocating a fire. Pick up the sample on the table and take a look. Humph. It's quite formal. You can see the instruction manual of Shuangyudang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets, which is printed with the National Food Health Code G. In addition, there are health food labels with blue hat identification and approval numbers. Overall, this blood sugar lowering lozenge is a legitimate product. But Shen Nanxu became even angrier. This group of people has organization, rules, and culture. Absurd, it's really harmful. Shen Nanxu gritted his teeth. The so-called forest expert just said something. Isn't this the classic slogan of health products deceiving people? After all, it is well known that health products have two major characteristics. No poison. It's useless. Just as Shen Nanxu gritted his teeth and couldn't catch his uncle's attention in a daze. Mr. Chen here has already leaned in and took out his phone to scan the code. "Little girl, give me 5 boxes. Mr. Chen said to a good-looking young girl, "It's Song Qinglian, the general manager of Lin's health product workshop." "Okay, Grandpa Chen." Song Qinglian naturally recognized this VIP old customer and immediately gave a sweet smile. "Uncle, that's enough. Keep your eyes wide open, they are just a group of scammers." Shen Nanxu finally couldn't help but burst out and angrily rebuked Lin Mo and Song Qinglian. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 6. Anti-counterfeit health products, Shen Nanxu frustrated. You are listening at novel full.audio. A crisp chiming sound. Wandering over the conference hall. Lin Mo naturally also noticed Shen Nanxu. Although she was a top-notch intellectual beauty, Lin Mo's reaction was very calm. She just glanced at her and walked over calmly. "Madam, please pay attention to your words." Song Qinglian also frowned lightly and immediately responded. "I'm not wrong." Shen Nanxu took a deep breath and stubbornly handed out a business card. Lin Mo took it and took a look. I stared at the other person with a slight surprise. Song Qinglian curiously leaned over and instinctively read, Shen Nanxu, Senior Assistant Researcher, Engineer, at Linhai Life Science Research Institute. Song Qinglian looked at Lin Mo as if asking, what does the name above mean? Lin Mo's heart twitched. Linhai Institute of Life Sciences is a directly affiliated unit of Xia Guolong Academy of Sciences. The woman in front of me, who looks 25 or 6 years old, is actually a senior assistant researcher. This ability is not simple. Expert Lin. This is my niece, Shen Nanxu, said Mr. Chen awkwardly as he finally realized and hurriedly approached. It's like this, my niece doesn't know why, thinking that my uncle has been deceived. It's actually nothing. I voluntarily purchased this health product from your company. After speaking, looking at his niece, Grandpa Chen glared at him and said, You girl, don't cause trouble for me. Come home with me. Uncle. Shen Nanxu was extremely anxious, she never expected it. Uncle, a weapons research expert and retired high-ranking intellectual with the rank of colonel, was brainwashed and turned into this by such a group of scammers. Helpless at the same time. Shen Nanxu immediately opened his mouth and said, Do you know that my uncle is a type 2 diabetes patient, because you cheats brainwash, he. Before finishing speaking, Lin Mo interrupted. He smiled slightly and asked, Mr. Chen, you are also a loyal customer of our company. You have bought several boxes of hypoglycemic tablets. Now I'll ask you, is there anything wrong with you taking these lozenges? No. Grandpa Chen immediately shook his head and exclaimed excitedly, It's delicious to eat. Anyway, taking medicine is much more comfortable than before. Miss Shen, you heard me. Lin Mo turned his head to look at Shen Nanxu. This doesn't mean anything, Shen Nanxu said seriously. After all, health products that can be approved for marketing are at least non-toxic and have no side effects. Thank you for Miss Shen's recognition. Lin Mo humorously gave a gentlemanly salute. You. Shen Nanxu suddenly realized that she had been tricked, her cheeks slightly red, and she immediately scolded, Okay, you can argue it out. Let me ask you, what are the effects of your healthcare product, which focuses on diabetes healthcare, and what technologies and raw materials have been used? A series of inquiries attracted the attention of all the elderly present. Looking at Lin Mo, he was slightly taken aback. Shen Nanxu breathed a sigh of relief in her heart. What kind of forest expert is this? It looks like a silver gun wax rod head. It's not very useful. Unexpectedly. Lin Mo just smiled calmly and spoke slowly. Ladies and gentlemen, Shuangmatang plant extract hypoglycemic buccal tablet has 5 key functions for type 2 diabetes. Clear the poison. Repair pancreatic islets. Nourish the pancreas. Lower blood sugar and enhance immunity, protect cardiovascular system. And. At this point. Lin Mo suddenly stopped speaking and showed a distant smile. After all, the 5th functional conclusion. Too shocking. Now that words have no basis, it's better to leave time to verify. As for the technology used in my health product. Lin Mo smiled slightly and said, there are quite a few. If Miss Shen is interested, I'll mention a few more. Nano extraction and deep processing technology. Ultrafine cell wall breaking technology. Supercritical fluid extraction technology. Biomass energy conversion technology. When Lin Mo's remarks come to an end. Shen Nanxu's face was already surprised, with a dazzling expression in her eyes. She couldn't help but raise her delicate eyebrows. This Lin Mo. It's not easy. At this moment, Shen Nanxu finally realized the extraordinary qualities of the man in front of her. He's too calm. Even if she scolds in public and asks in front of hundreds of elderly people, she is not afraid. Shen Nanxu couldn't help but nibble on the shell's teeth. She knows. At this moment of confrontation, she has already been defeated. However, Shen Nanxu wouldn't just give up like this. Because she is engaged in scientific research, she knows the essence of health products better than ordinary people. After careful consideration, Shen Nanxu asked again. I heard from my uncle that in order to promote your own healthcare products, you once told the guests metaphorically that this hypoglycemic tablet on your hand is comparable to medicine and can replace related drugs as a treatment for diabetes. Upon hearing this, Lin Mo fell silent for a moment. Hypoglycemic lozenges are a health product. Real effect. It can really treat diabetes. But without clinical trial evidence, even if he is confident, he cannot convince a senior researcher. Immediately sighed and said, Miss Shen. I know what you mean, but what I want to emphasize is that the plant extract hypoglycemic lozenges produced by the Shuangyudang brand are essentially health products. It's not a medicine. Lin Mo struck the nail on the head. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 7 Academician Xiao. Do you know who Lin Mo is? You are listening at novelfull.audio. After all, drugs are too special. A unique quality standard and production standard, commonly known as GMP, have been established for drugs worldwide. 0.001% of impurities may cause adverse reactions or even death to patients. Give an example. The effective ingredient content of a certain patent medicine is 99.5%, and the remaining 0.5% is impurities. The GMP standard is to determine the structure of all these impurities, separate and purify them. Each type must undergo complete clinical and pharmacological tests, including toxicology, to ensure that impurities do not cause harm to the human body in order to be qualified. But health products are not so strict anymore. So, Lin Mo has his own ideas. The developed hypoglycemic lozenges, since they can act on the efficacy of drugs and ensure safety, can also be promoted and marketed in the form of health products. Avoid a series of troubles. Of course, Lin Mo will not admit that his health product is a medicine. I understand. For a long time, Shen Nanxu gave Lin Mo a deep glance. Then he glanced at his uncle and said clearly, Uncle, let's go. Before leaving, a kind-hearted lady stopped Shen Nanxu's footsteps. Girl, I know your kindness. The aunt sighed repeatedly. I am a people's teacher, and I have suffered from diabetes for 6 years. 6 years. I've been sick for 6 years, taking medicine for 6 years. I have medical insurance, but even so, I spend more than 30,000 yuan on diabetes every year. Auntie once again lamented, sometimes when symptoms occur, it's too uncomfortable. Until a week ago, I met Professor Lin and listened to his lecture. With a give-it-a-try attitude, I bought a box of hypoglycemic lozenges. After all, it's only 98 yuan, not expensive. If it's really a scammer, then I think this price can be given to 598 yuan, or even 998 yuan. Then, I was pleasantly surprised. The lady's voice trembled, her eyes filled with vitality and a glimmer of hope. After taking the hypoglycemic buccal tablets for 3 days, I found that the pain caused by diabetes has actually weakened in these 3 days. As the saying goes, a long illness makes a good doctor. Whether a medicine is effective or not is the most clear to patients. But the hypoglycemic lozenges of the Shuangyidang brand, according to experts Lin, are a health product, so we consider it a health product. That's all. As long as it works. After the lady finished speaking, she wiped her moist eyes and slightly turned aside to make way. Boom. Shen Nanxu's delicate body trembled. Subconsciously opening his mouth, wanting to say something, but unable to say it. Around. The kind gazes of the elderly made her feel excited. Grandpa Chen smiled slightly and said, "Nanxu, silly girl, do you know how many elderly people and intellectuals come here today? Do you think everyone came with the intention of taking advantage? Huh, silly girl, you're still too young." Before Shen Nanxu's beautiful cheeks turned red, Grandpa Chen smiled and led his niece away. And in the conference hall, Lin Mo gave a faint smile and looked at Aunt Song. Aunt Song, ask the factory to send another 5,000 boxes of hypoglycemic tablets over. At 8 p.m. Shen Nanxu drove back to Linhai after more than 2 hours with a bewildered and strongly frustrated mentality. The first thing to do when returning to Linhai, Shen Nanxu immediately visited her mentor. He is also an academician of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, chief scientist of the Xiaogua Academy of Traditional Chinese Medicine, and a top international expert in the combination of Chinese and Western medicine research. Academician Xiao. In Zhao's hometown, there is a study. A refined and gentle scholar was sitting in front of a desk, bowing down to write something. Upon hearing his proud disciple's visit, Xiao Zhenhua smiled slightly, put down his research, and looked up, saying, "Nanxu, did everything go smoothly today?" Xiao Lao knew that his disciple had encountered something when he returned to Sioux City to visit his family today. Just in detail, Shen Nanxu hasn't explained it to him in detail yet. Upon hearing this, Shen Nanxu flashed a hint of shame, shook her head, and said with a bitter smile, "Teacher, I've embarrassed you today." "Oh. What happened?" Xiao Lao smiled with great interest. "It's like this." Shen Nanxu pouted and her eyes were ethereal, recalling the calm and profound figure of the man in her mind. Then, in detail, informed the elderly person in front of them of what happened today. Xiao Lao sat quietly in the seat. After listening to the disciple's retelling, he looked up in surprise and opened the computer web page, as if typing something. "Nanxu, did you just say that the young man you met this afternoon is called Lin Mo?" Shen Nanxu nodded and said in confusion, "Teacher, have you ever heard of this person?" "I don't think so." Just as Shen Nanxu was speculating, Xiao Lao clicked on the web page, pointed to the profile picture of a young man on the screen, and smiled, asking, "Is that this person?" "Ah." Shen Nanxu lifted her eyes, lost consciousness in an instant, and screamed, "Teacher, it's him. Lin Mo." Shen Nanxu gritted her mouth again. "It's indeed him. Do you know who he is?" Xiao Lao's fine light flashed and he suddenly smiled for a long time as if talking to oneself. Xiao Lao spoke in a tone of extreme surprise. "Lin Mo." 3 months ago, 27-year-old Lin Mo resigned from his position as a tenured professor at Stanford University School of Medicine in the beautiful country, disappearing from the international medical research community's site. P.S. First day data is very important, and we urgently need the support of all readers. Those who love this book, please don't hesitate to give them some flowers and leave a review vote. How much is love? Author Bacteria, thank you. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 8. Lin Mo's True Purpose, Attempting Overseas Markets. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What? Upon hearing this, Shen Nanxu felt as if she had been struck by lightning. As her delicate body trembled, she walked gently to the screen and carefully examined the avatar on the computer screen. "It's him, it's really him." Shen Nanxu trembled and murmured softly. She finally came to her senses. Why did I feel like I had seen Lin Mo somewhere before? This young man is not easy. Xiao Lao's brilliance flickered and he said slowly, Lin Mo entered Stanford Medical School at the age of 21. The following year, his papers were included in both Nature and Science for 2 consecutive years. At the age of 23, Lin Mo won the International Young Scientist Award from the Howard Hughes Medical Research Institute abroad, the Tanjiazhen Life Science Innovation Award at the age of 24, and the first International Young Scientist Award from the beautiful country HHMI. At the age of 26, it was Lin Mo's shining moment. He led the development of a new nanoscale ultra-fine cell wall breaking technology and was appointed as the youngest lifelong professor at Stanford Medical School the same year. Also selected as one of the 10 global science stars by Nature magazine. Speaking of this, Mr. Xiao was deeply moved and said, I have been paying attention to such an outstanding young scientist for a long time. Shen Nanxu suddenly realized. The next second, Shen Nanxu thought of something and exclaimed in surprise, but, teacher, how could he appear in such and even create a health product? I don't know about that anymore. Xiao shook his head and said, however, this year there have been rumors in the foreign scientific research community that the beautiful country intends to recruit Lin Mo to join its National Academy of Sciences as the youngest foreign academician. But in Shen Nanxu's once again shocked gaze, Xiao Lao smiled and said, I heard that this little guy refused, and it seems that he even had a falling out with the officials of beautiful country, which is why he resigned and returned to China later. I see. Shen Nanxu nodded passionately. Just a beautiful face, still incredibly stunning. Completely unexpected. How could such an excellent person be willing to bow down to a small health product workshop and develop a health product? What exactly is his intention? Let's go. At this moment, Academician Xiao stood up and gave a playful smile. Teacher. Shen Nanxu was taken aback and looked at the other person curiously. You're such a smart girl, don't tell me you didn't bring the health product developed by Lin Mo, which is the blood sugar lowering lozenge, with you. Xiao Lao smiled and waved his hand, go to the hospital for experimental analysis. Coincidentally, I'm also very curious. Why did such a talented research genius return to China so low-key and choose to develop a health product? Another thing is, what is the true efficacy of this health product? On the other side, Sioux City. Lin Mo and Song Qinglian were so busy and exhausted that they finally managed to attend today's lecture. And the results are undoubtedly gratifying. Just today, the sold Shuangyudang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets amount to 5,600 boxes. Many guests who came upon hearing the news made a purchase at the lecture, which was 10 boxes, 20 boxes. After all, this week has come. The brand of hypoglycemic lozenges produced by Lin's Health Product Workshop has already gained fame in Suzhou. Many diabetes patients are exchanging what they need, just like the Navy is spontaneously promoting this healthcare product. After all, its efficacy is really amazing. For many patients with diabetes, such a powerful healthcare product is undoubtedly Tianjiang Ganlu. Naturally, the sales performance is booming, as expected. When I returned to the workshop, it was already 9 p.m. But this will. The workshop is brightly lit. In the small cafeteria in the northwest corner of the factory building, there is even more joy and excitement. There are 21 production workers in the workshop, along with 3 managers, as well as 2 salespeople, Zhao Ru and Sun Shui. Led by Lin Mo and Song Qinglian, a celebration is being held. At this moment, every employee is overjoyed and smiling. Just half a month ago, everyone is still on tenterhooks, afraid that Lin's Health Product Workshop will suddenly close down. A week ago, when the first health product, hypoglycemic lozenges, was produced, everyone was also nervous and worried that the product would not be sought after. But now, it's only 8 days. The factory sold a total of 11,600 boxes of products. Total sales revenue, exceeding 1.15 million. Just all the employees felt helpless and felt that Lin Mo was not worth it. Compared to other health product companies, our own health products have powerful efficacy, reliable quality, and unbeatable reputation. But this sales revenue is very low. Not to mention the company's net profit. I estimate it will end up in Lin Mo's pocket, at most tens of thousands of yuan. It can be said that he worked hard and only earned a few taels of snowflake silver. But there's no way. Who made Mr. Lin set the price of hypoglycemic lozenges so low? Now it seems to be selling well. But the actual profit is not much. What a pity. But no matter what, Lin's health products workshop relies on the shuangyidang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets, a health product. Finally came alive. Think of this. Everyone was beaming with smiles, congratulating each other and drinking happily. Over here, Lin Mo and several old employees in the workshop toasted a few glasses before finding an excuse to walk into the factory yard. Looking up at the sky, Lin Mo smiled calmly. Open the system. With a movement of consciousness, a virtual interface appeared in Lin Mo's line of sight. Congratulations to the host, the sales of the first modified drug have exceeded 1 million. Current reward. 1 copy of a development and technical drawing of epilepsy rehabilitation drug Magic Modification. See this. Lin Mo's brilliance flashed. Epilepsy. This is another disease in the medical field that troubles many patients and causes excruciating pain. It seems that it's time to delve into medical challenges again. Lin Mo smiled quietly. But the gaze was a bit more sharp. Xiao Mo. A gentle voice came over. Lin Mo's mind returned to reality and saw Song Qinglian walking towards him with a smile. She was wearing a purple qipao, her thighs parted to outline a mature charm. At this moment, Aunt Song held up a glass of red wine, her cheeks slightly red, and her gaze blurred as she approached. With a slight drunkenness, Song Qinglian exclaimed excitedly, "Xiao Mo, what are your plans on Earth?" She can see it now. Lin Mo will take blood sugar lowering lozenges at such a low price, there must be his purpose. Upon hearing this, Lin Mo took the red wine handed over by Aunt Song and took a sip. "Aunt Song, do you know the sky-high price medicine?" she said with a leisurely smile. Song Qinglian's eyes were dazed, and she shook her head in a daze before nodding again. Lin Mo smiled again. Just this smile, a bit bitter. The anti-cancer miracle drug. A Killins injection, 1.2 million yuan per injection. Fabuzan, agarase, beta. The annual treatment cost for adults and children using long-term enzyme replacement therapy for Fabry's disease patients is 1.8 million and 1 million respectively. The annual cost for the treatment of hemophilia type A with immeasurable injection is 1.3 million yuan. There is also the recently released Nozenashina injection for treating spinal muscular atrophy, which costs 700,000 yuan per injection. Speaking of which, Lin Mo chuckled and his gaze was complicated. 70 million yuan. For many ordinary working-class people, it takes more than 10 years of work to afford food and drink. Lin Mo's tone was extremely desolate. "Aunt Song, do you know? This 700,000 dose of Nocentina injection is only a few hundred yuan in some parts of foreign countries." "Yes, you heard it right, converted to domestic currency, it's less than 300 yuan per dose." At the end, Lin Mo's expression returned to calm. Why are there so many sky-high priced medicines in China? I don't deny that pharmaceutical companies spend a huge amount of money and manpower on developing new drugs, and naturally want to reap fruitful results. But why do we in Xia country have to recognize the beautiful country patent and tolerate the high prices of new drugs in China? In fact, it's just a foreign pharmaceutical giant trying to cut off the leaks of our domestic people. Lin Mo said indifferently, of course, we can also refuse to recognize the patents of Mimi Pharmaceutical in China and not protect the intellectual property rights of new drugs, but that would result in another form of sanctions. The FDA, Food and Drug Administration of the United States, will shut down its database for all domestic pharmaceutical companies. This vast database represents the global direction of new drug research and development. After shutting down the database for domestic pharmaceutical companies and research institutions, it represents our domestic pharmaceutical companies and research institutions, which can only stumble and explore in the dark. So, in simple terms, having patents and core technologies means having the right to speak. How high the drug price should be, it's just a matter of one sentence. Speaking of which, Lin Mo just smiled leisurely, turned his head, and stared at Aunt Song with a burning gaze. Aunt Song, do you know how high my expectations are for shuangyudang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets? I didn't even want to make money in China. Earning money from fellow countrymen is not considered a skill. Lin Mo laughed heartily. To make money, you need to be like those foreign pharmaceutical giants, making money from the global market. Aunt Song, to be honest with you, I plan to enter the overseas market with portable, blood sugar lowering lozenges in no more than 3 months. The minimum selling price is this number. Lin Mo was ambitious, extending his 10 fingers and drawing out a number, speaking arrogantly. At least $598 per box. 8th watch. Begging for flowers. Evaluation ticket. Monthly pass. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 9. Pharmacological Analysis, Academician Zhen of the Chinese Academy of Dragon Sciences. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Anyway, it's $598 per box. Love to buy or not? Lin Mo gritted his teeth and paused every word. Boom. Song Qinglian's brain shook and her delicate body couldn't help but heat up, staring blankly at Lin Mo. At that moment, the figure of the big boy in front of me is gradually becoming majestic. Song Qinglian's cheeks turned even redder, and she couldn't help but pinch her legs. Her eyes lit up and she nodded feverishly. It's possible. Lin Mo can definitely do it. Song Qinglian screamed and shouted in her heart. This night, Lin Mo slept exceptionally sweet. And Shen Nanxu, who is far away by the sea. And there is also Xiao Zhenhua, the big shot of the Dragon Science Academy. But he stayed up all night. Shen Nanxu and Xiao Lao returned to the Institute of Life Sciences as soon as possible. As a large scientific research institution, the laboratory naturally has various testing instruments. Subsequently, Shen Nanxu took out the shuangyudang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets and began product analysis. Xiao Lao couldn't even wait and personally led the analysis of raw materials and technology. Since it is a named health product, let's start with the specification inspection of the health product. Xiao Laoi hammered the sound and said. Subsequently, Shen Nanxu and several researchers began to get busy. Take out one hypoglycemic lozenge after another and start various examinations. Firstly, it is natural to conduct raw material analysis. Half an hour later, Xiao Shen, where did you get the product from? This health product formula has a lot of ingredients. Colleague Li Dong said solemnly after receiving the inspection sample. Most health products on the market are based on technology and vitality. This product uses a large number of Chinese and Western medicinal materials, and the extraction technology is very superb. It retains 100% of the essence of raw materials. Just because I can detect no less than 30 ingredients in medicinal materials. There are corn stalks, dandelions, jade bamboo roots, Rehmannia glutinosa, bitter gourds, and so on. Li Dong was shocked and said, "Do current health product companies still have such a conscience?" Shen Nanxu is speechless. Her beautiful eyes gradually widened. She remembered what her uncle said, this health product only sells for 98 yuan. But Lin Mo used so many raw materials, and the cost is not sure how high it will be. What else can he make? Another half hour has passed. Xiao Lao personally went to the scene for testing, while earnestly teaching his disciples around him. Undoubtedly the youngest lifelong professor at Stanford Medical School. The health product developed by Lin Mo, as far as I can infer now, has used at least a dozen innovative technologies. From extraction, to sedimentation, separation, concentration, sterilization, membrane separation, molecular distillation, supercritical fluid extraction, and so on, each step is carried out very orderly and advanced. Look at this column of data again, TSK, he has taken the nanoscale ultra-fine cell wall breaking technology to the extreme. Xiao Lao was deeply moved and amazed. You should know that he is the highest-ranking medical research expert in Xia country. What technology have you never seen? But now. A small health product lozenge, but it made him unable to put it down. Teacher, is it really so exaggerated? Shen Nanxu was stunned. Perhaps, more than I inferred. Xiao Lao didn't finish speaking. Subsequently, the two continued their product analysis. He showed a spirit of delving into scientific research difficulties. This pounding. Just over 10 hours have passed. And this will. Xiao Lao Kai can be considered to have obtained a complete report on the analysis of blood sugar lowering lozenges based on health products. A 30-page report. Surprised this national scholar to a state of high spirits. Surprisingly, it's a clever idea to fuse biomolecules like this. The toxicology test is 0, and it even achieves the same level of no impurities as the drug. It's amazing. Functionality has an incredible promoting effect on repairing pancreatic islets and pancreas. Boom. The next moment. Xiao Lao is completely numb. Shen Nanxu was on the side, her delicate body trembling incessantly. The more I look, the more I feel scared. Do you call this a health product? This is clearly a drug with strong therapeutic effects. Unfortunately, there is no trace of medicinal ingredients detected in this lozenge. For a long time. Xiao Lao put down the report with trepidation. With a solemn expression, Nanxu, go back and rest first. Shen Nanxu was stunned for a moment. After resting, start conducting pharmacological analysis and clinical trials with the theme of drugs. Xiao Lao pointed to the box of hypoglycemic tablets on the table, his eyes shining brightly. Next week. What surprised Xiao Lao and Shen Nanxu was the pharmacological analysis and testing of a small hypoglycemic lozenge took a full week. During the period, Xiao Lao used his authority as an academician of the Academy of Dragon Sciences to recruit 12 expert assistants in related fields, simultaneously utilizing instruments from top laboratories. We have thoroughly tested and analyzed the shuangyudang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets. In terms of conclusion verification, Xiao even used the national supercomputer, Sunway the Taihu Lake Light. Conduct big data analysis using the clinical trial template of the Linhai Institute of Pharmacy, Lomka Academy. After obtaining the results of big data analysis, as well as comprehensive data such as pharmacological analysis, clinical trial inference, functional simulation reports, etc. The old man is trembling. Shen Nanxu also witnessed all of this throughout the journey. The two of them peered at each other. Xiao Lao trembled and said, "This plant extract hypoglycemic lozenge completely subverts people's understanding of health products. It has both the characteristics of a health product and the therapeutic effect of a drug. The biomass energy factor contained in it is very magical. It took me and several other experts 3 days to deduce what substance it is. Perhaps this is the source of the efficacy of this hypoglycemic buccal tablet, which can be used to treat diabetes, such as metformin, insulin, dipeptidyl peptidase inhibitor, etc. Our current results indicate that long-term use of this hypoglycemic lozenge will gradually repair the body's functions, and the damaged group, including the pancreas and islets, will return to normal levels. Nanxu. Do you know what this means? It means that a product that can cure diabetes has appeared. Whether it's a drug or a health product, this function alone is enough to lead the transformation of medicine in this era. The global medical and research communities will be shocked by it. And nearly 600 million diabetes patients will also benefit from this. Millions of people will live because of this healthcare product. Xiao Lao said in the most trembling and excited voice. Shen Nanxu's face turned red and extremely hot. A pair of beautiful eyes, shining brightly. Lin Mo. He brought a miracle. Shen Nanxu muttered softly to herself, and the figure in her mind became even clearer. At the same time, Shen Nanxu and Xiao Lao conducted a week-long pharmacological test. On the other side, Lin Mo went crazy selling hypoglycemic lozenges. Yes. Starting from selling 11,600 boxes of hypoglycemic tablets in the first week. The second week. This health product has gained widespread fame in Suzhou, even in the 3 eastern provinces of Xia country. It's just a short day. A large number of dealers came to inquire and pick up the goods. The remaining hypoglycemic lozenges in the warehouse were sold out in just 1 day. In addition to being excited, Song Qinglian personally took charge of the workshop and factory, and all employees were fully engaged in production, divided into 2 shifts day and night. We have successively produced 100,000 boxes of products. In just 1 day, it was completely sold out. At the same time as the booming sales, the good reputation brought by Shuangyedang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets is completely shattered. Many diabetes patients and their families mentioned this healthcare product. At the first moment, with tears in their eyes, they all thumbed up and praised fiercely. And behind its powerful efficacy, even some patients have started to quit medication treatment and switch to taking hypoglycemic lozenges. As its advertising slogan says, take 1 tablet every day, relax all day. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. Chapter 10. There is only one disease in the world, and that is. You are listening at Novel Full.Audio. The first hospital of Suqing City. Chen Jiqiang, accompanied by his spouse, is currently seeking medical attention. Mr. Chen, you have been in good physical condition lately and your blood sugar control is very good. Qini lifted his head and met Grandpa Chen's cheerful smile. Qini still has a good impression of the patient in front of him. After all, the high-level ward of the first hospital is not accessible to anyone. And the person in front of me is said to be an elderly person who has retired from the military district. Half a month ago, his physical condition was still very poor. At that time, Grandpa Chen's blood sugar was so high that he almost had complications. In just a few days, I lost 12 pounds of weight. But now, the patient's body values were so good that they surprised him. My body has really been much more comfortable lately. Grandpa Chen smiled and said. Thanks to the hypoglycemic lozenges. Aunt beside her was deeply moved. Speaking unintentionally, the listener intends. Qini looked up in surprise and said, what hypoglycemic lozenges? With a thump in his heart, he muttered subconsciously, what's that called? Xuanmu Tang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets. Hey! Grandpa Chen grinned and said, Dr. Qin, do you also know about this health product? I know. Qin let out a heavy voice and said earnestly, Mr. Chen, this company is an unscrupulous enterprise, you must not believe it. Be sure to follow the doctor's advice and believe in medicine. Upon hearing this, Grandpa Chen was a bit angry and frowned, saying, Dr. Qin, where did you hear all this nonsense? The products of Xiaolin experts are really good things. Health products are good things. Qin almost rolled his eyes and said to his bitter mother, this kind of unscrupulous enterprise is deceiving patients to stop taking medication and instead purchase their health products as medicine. Isn't this harmful? Oh, don't worry, if it weren't for my spouse's advice, I would have wanted to quit other medications myself and only used hypoglycemic tablets, after all, they worked. Mr. Chen retorted like a child. This. Qin smiled bitterly on the spot. Dr. Qin, don't worry, this old man has become a fan of Kobayashi experts recently. But to be honest, their health supplements are indeed effective. Antley tried to persuade and explain, then promised to supervise the old man's medication before leading Mr. Chen out of the consultation room. What is this all about? Qin shook his head and sighed. That hypoglycemic lozenge is too bullying. It's only been a few days and it's brainwashing so many elderly people. Going forward for a period of time. Qin also received several patients with type 2 diabetes. Unexpectedly, they all learned from their mouths about the health product Shuangmudang plant extract hypoglycemic tablets. Dr. Qin, this health product is amazing. The old man used it for 5 days. Look at today's physical examination report, his blood sugar has dropped a lot. What's the effect of the medicine? The medicine must have been taken for 3 years. But this health supplement was only taken for 5 days, which is more effective than taking the medicine for 3 years. Dr. Qin, do you have this blood sugar lowering lozenge in your hospital? Does it come with medical insurance? It costs 98 yuan for outdoor sales. If I use a medical insurance card, I can save a lot of money on medical treatment this year. Listen to these comments. Qin is completely confused. On the other side, Mr. Chen and his wife took medicine and helped each other out of the hospital. Old man, although hypoglycemic lozenges are effective, you must also take this medicine. Antley cautioned. Got it. Grandpa Chen waved his hand impatiently. Woo. Then, at the entrance of the hospital, an old woman in her 50s squatted on the ground, holding her head and wailing loudly. What should I do? Where can I get so much money? The crying was sharp like a knife, as if it was about to tear apart the body. Behind the old woman, an elderly man in his 60s crumpled the diagnosis book and patted his wife's back while wiping away tears, unable to say a word of comfort. What a tragedy. It said that they came from the countryside to see a doctor. Both the husband and wife found out diabetes. They have no children and no daughters. They can't afford to treat it. Isn't there medical insurance? Alas, some old people in the countryside don't understand and don't handle that. Although diabetes is not a serious disease, it is still necessary to pay 2,000 yuan a month. I just asked, and both the lady and the master are in severe condition. Generally, insulin is not good enough. What kind of medication should I take? 1 dose per week, and one person's monthly injection alone costs over 2,000 yuan. With the addition of medication, the treatment cost for 2 people is at least 7 or 8,000 yuan. This ordinary family, which one can afford it? Besides, diabetes needs more rest. There will be no physical strength to do farm work in the future. There were discussions all around. The passers-by all responded with sympathy, and the crying voice of the old man infected everyone around. At that moment, there were many people whose emotions of fear, sympathy, and despair were colliding in their hearts. It seems like I suddenly realized a truth. There is really a group of people in the world waiting to die, watching their lives run out due to poverty. Wiped away a tear. Grandpa Chen walked forward. He took out the blood sugar lowering lozenges he carried with him and pointed at an elderly person in his early 60s, trembling in his voice, "Brother, can you read? This thing is called hypoglycemic lozenges. You can take it to the pharmacy and ask if you can buy it. It costs 98 yuan per box. It's enough to eat for a month. Although it's not a medicine, it works. Believe me, it really works." At this moment, Grandpa Chen used all his sincerity and even took out 500 yuan, forcefully stuffing it into the old man's hand. The benefactor. The 60-year-old man, watching Mr. Chen leave, was moved to tears and repeatedly thanked him. Then, like a walking corpse, he helped the old woman up and left the hospital trembling. Just holding a box of health products tightly in my hand. On the other side. In a private vegetable restaurant in Sucheng. Zhao Shankui, as a helper, is washing dishes in the kitchen. After a busy day's work. Zhao Shankui wiped his hands on his clothes, took out an old man's phone, and opened the V letter in that thick font. I saw many older brothers and sister.in.law sending messages to me. These people were all acquaintances of Zhao Shankui in the patient group introduced by Dr. Qin before. "Lao Zhao, have you really not taken your medicine for several days?" A big brother named, Contented and Happy, sent a message asking. "Eat your butt." Zhao Shankui immediately held down the voice transmission and said disdainfully, "I've been taking medicine for a year, and that's all. But using shuangyidang hypoglycemic lozenges, this body is even better. Yesterday I went to the hospital for a check. Up again, and Dr. Qin was stunned. He praised me for my good blood sugar control. Not for a while. Another old sister.in.law named Purple Rose came to inquire. Sister, listen to my brother's advice. What kind of medicine should I take? Just use the health product from Xiaolin Expert. It's only 98 yuan per month, less than 1,000 yuan per year. How much money can you save? Brother Zhao, then my sister will listen to you, said the Purple Rose crisply. Delhi. It won't harm you. Zhao Shankui said happily, Sister, when you have time, let's communicate and control sugar together. If there are outsiders present. It's unimaginable. A dozen days ago, Zhao Shankui, who had a face full of disgust and despair, was as thin as wood. How could such a change have happened? I still have a mind to flirt with my wife. At the same time, Lin Mo and Song Qinglian are in a meeting. He furrowed his brow and said helplessly for a while, Aunt Song, there are scalpers on the market who buy our medicine at the original price and then sell it to other patients at a high price of 200 yuan, even 300 or 500 yuan. As a result, a lot of people bought it. After speaking, he had a bitter smile on his face. A health product. The scalpers earn more than this manufacturer. It can also be considered rare. 10th update. Ask for some flowers, tickets. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.